going to quickly take you through the paper one for theory and the main idea on how you're going to understand the exam questions. You should know on what are the key terms and how you're supposed to respond to those key terms in the exam questions. So this presentation will be helping you with understanding how are advantages, disadvantages required in responses, how are characteristics required, and what not to mention when characteristics are required. Like generally when students are asked for feature of a device or feature of a application or software system, then the students tend to give uses. So avoid that. And then we will be describing other keywords that are state, identify, give, how to respond to those, describe, how to respond to a describe question, how to compare and contrast, and what to write when there's a question starting with explain, and what to write when there's a question starting with discuss. So in order to understand better, we would advise you that when you start practicing, create your revision notes and ensure that your revision notes address all the key elements which are present over here in this slide. So advantages, disadvantages, characteristics, uses, definition, and these aspects should be covered for each and every topic, so that in exam, if a question is there, you are able to recall, recollect, and apply and write the response accordingly. So the question is, how do you construct your answers in exam? For advantages and disadvantages, the requirement for the response is to give, you should be writing the benefits and drawbacks, or the pros and cons, or the good points and bad points. So this is how you should address. So advantages and disadvantages of the system should ensure, the response should ensure that these points are addressed in terms of the benefit and drawback of the system, or pro and con of the system, or good points and bad points of the system. Okay, when we are talking about characteristics of a system, we are talking about features or function that system has. So for example, if satellite navigation features are required, then you will ensure that your response contains a description of what is the function of satellite navigation. Then you will not give your answer in terms of the usage, in terms of the user usage. So remember, when you're talking about in terms of the user usage, like how people or how customer or how end user is using, then it becomes a question of uses. So for example, satellite navigation systems can recalculate a route if a better route is found. So this is a key feature. Then they can also provide the user with average speed they traveled at. That is again a feature. They can work out which route is the shortest or fastest. So in these cases, all of these are features of function. Now, this response should never include the uses, and an example is given. A person can use a satellite navigation to find the shortest route to a location. So this is something that has to be averted, because this perspective is of the end user, and we are talking about the features or the functions. Now we come to the next question. When they ask you to give the uses, you're going to describe its purpose, why is it used for, and definitely with the perspective of end user. So a satellite navigation is used to help people find locations without the need for a paper-based map, because the satellite navigation is real-time system. The user does not have to stop their car to work out the next part of the journey. The satellite navigation will instruct the user where to go next to reach their location. Now, these key words or the specialized technological terms are very important. If you miss these terms and go and keep on using words that are not considered as technical terms, then you will be losing marks. So when you're talking about navigation, ensure that you use words as per the navigation system, and whatever is there, you have to revise it from the textbook as well. Now, click on the box to reveal the answer. The question is, this is a short activity for you to build on. Describe the function that makes it what it is. So what is the keyword for this? Characteristics. Okay. Allow us to compare different aspects of a system when answering a question. What is the keyword for this? Pros and cons. Okay, click on the boxes to reveal the answers. Allows us to describe how users interact with something. So it is a uses.